If you like this edition and you want to know more about the topic and understand it in detail, head on to pallavisegel.com to see the full video on the topic. Today, we are exploring Warren Buffett's 1989 letter to the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, a letter that represents 25 years of hard-won investment wisdom and brutal self-reflection. This is the letter where Warren Buffett admits his biggest mistakes, explains his evolution from cigar butt investing to buying wonderful companies at fair prices, and delivers a warning about the dangers of financial engineering through zero coupon bonds. He also tells us a famous story of how it took him 52 years to finally buy the Coca-Cola stock. We'll explore the institutional imperative that leads smart people to make dumb decisions, why time is the friend of wonderful businesses but the enemy of mediocre ones, and how Buffett learned that it's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. From cigar butts to wonderful companies. The insight here: the evolution from buying cheap, mediocre businesses to buying exceptional businesses at fair prices represents one of the most important shifts in investment philosophy. Buffett's perspective out here: Warren Buffett candidly admits his early mistake. If you buy a stock at sufficiently low price, there will usually be some hiccup in the fortunes of the company that give you a chance to unload at a decent profit, even though the long-term performance may be terrible. I call this the cigar butt approach to investing. He explains the problem. In difficult times, no sooner one problem solved than another surfaces. Never is there one cockroach in the kitchen. Why it matters? This insight separates the successful long-term investors from those who chase statistical bargains. While cheap stocks might provide short-term profits, exceptional businesses compound wealth over decades. The institutional imperative. The insight out there being: organizations develop a life of their own that often leads rational people to make irrational decisions, following what Buffett calls the institutional imperative. Buffett's perspective out here: he identifies four key aspects. An institution will resist any change in its current direction. Corporate projects will materialize to soak up available funds. Thirdly, any business craving of the leader will quickly be supported by detailed studies prepared by his troops. And lastly, the behavior of peer companies will be mindlessly imitated. He notes that institutional dynamics, not mentality or stupidity, send businesses on these courses. Why this matters? This explains as to why so many smart managers make dumb decisions. They are not acting in isolation but within the institutional frameworks that reward conformity and activity over rational analysis. The Coca-Cola confession. The insight out here: even the greatest investors can miss obvious opportunities for decades due to mental blind spots and adherence to outdated investment approaches. Warren Buffett's perspective. Warren Buffett's confession is both humorous and instructive. He says, I believe I had my first Coca-Cola in either 1935 or 1936. I continued to note these qualities for the next 52 years as Coke blanketed the world. During this period, however, I carefully avoided buying even a single share, instead allocating major portions of my net worth to street railway companies, windmill manufacturers, anthracite producers, textile businesses, trading stamp issuers, and the like. Why it matters. This story illustrates how the investment paradigms can blind us to obvious opportunities. Buffett was so focused on finding statistical bargains that he ignored a world-class business growing right in front of him for 5 decades. The zero coupon bond warning. The insight out here: financial engineering that allows companies to avoid current cash payments while recording earnings is a dangerous form of alchemy that destroys real wealth. Warren Buffett's perspective out here: Buffett provides a devastating critique of the zero coupon bond mania. With zeros, one party to contract can experience income without his opposite experiencing the pain of expenditure. A company capable of earning only 100 million annually magically creates earnings for bondholders of 150 million. He wants, in the end, alchemy, whether metallurgical or financial, fails. A base business cannot be transformed into a golden business by tricks of accounting or capital structure. Why does it matter? The warning about the financial engineering preceded many of the corporate disasters of the early 2000s. When companies use complex financial structures to avoid reality, they are usually hiding fundamental business problems rather than solving them. Look through earnings. The insight out here: to truly understand a company's earning power, you must look beyond the reported earnings to include your share of retained earnings from investee companies. Buffett's perspective out here. Warren Buffett explains that we believe Berkshire's fundamental earning power is best measured by a look-through approach. in which we append our share of the operating earnings retained by our investors to our own reported earnings. He notes that while Berkshire received only 45 million in dividends from major investees, their share of retained earnings was 212 million. Why does this matter? This concept helps investors understand the true earning power of companies that own significant stakes in other businesses. Dividend income alone can be misleading if the underlying businesses are retaining and reinvesting earnings profitably. Next, let's look at the conservative financial policies payoff. The insight here being maintaining conservative debt levels and financial policies may reduce short-term returns, but it creates long-term stability and opportunities during crisis. Buffett's perspective, Buffett addresses the criticism of conservative policies. Our consistently conservative financial policies may appear to have been a mistake, but in my view, these were not. A small chance of distress or disgrace cannot, in our view, be offset by a large chance of extra returns. He explains their philosophy by saying that Charlie and I have never been in a big hurry. We enjoy the process far more than the proceeds. Why does this matter? This philosophy has allowed Berkshire to survive and thrive through multiple market crises while highly leveraged companies have failed. Conservative financing provides both stability and the ability to act when opportunities arise during market stress. And this brings us to the Charlie Munger corner. Throughout this letter, Charlie's influence is evident in the analytical rigor and the focus on learning from mistakes. Warren Buffett notes this. He says that Charlie understood this early regarding the shift from cigar butt investing to quality investing, showing how Charlie helped accelerate this crucial evolution in their investment approach. This spotlight quote for this episode. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. This quote encapsulates the fundamental shift in Buffett's investment philosophy and represents one of the most important lessons in all of investing history. From the evolution beyond cigar butt investing to prescient warnings about financial engineering, this letter is a roadmap for intelligent investing. We hope that you've enjoyed the preview edition of this topic. If you like this edition and you want to know more about the topic and understand it in detail, head on to PallaviSehgal.com to see the full video on the topic.